So firstly, welcome to India today. It's good to have you here, Chitrangda.
Thanks, Nirali. Thank you.
I want to begin the conversation by, telling you that after watching Cutting Chai, I felt that the film was very wholesome. It not just had love and romance, I mean the modern love, but also some complex issues which were dealt very easily in the film. So that's
Yeah.
what I could make out of Cutting Chai.
No, absolutely. You are right. I think that is the beauty of the script. That काफी complex emotions भी उन्होंने बहुत ही पहले होती थी ना, like I mean it's too big a name to use, but Hrishikesh Mukherjee used to make these films, जो बहुत ही about ordinary people but with complicated emotions, जो बहुत ही simply he would present it. I think that is really what is the thing that attracted me to this, because a lot of times these days you don't get to read scripts which are so simple, कि जो दो किरदार मतलब जो कैरेक्टर्स हैं उनके ऊपर छोड़ दिया, how to play the sub level. Usually everything is spoon fed, एक एक चीज बोली जाती है. और इसमें like the last scene, which is I think the most important scene, जब वो train में है and she realizes the realization happens for her, happens with no dialogues, no dialogue bazi between these two characters. She just goes and stands next to him, and he tries to talk, and so I just feel that is like written for an actor. Like the script was written for actors to perform. So I think you're absolutely right. It's a very simple way of presenting complex like problems of relationships, especially women, jinko they feel left out. So yeah, I loved the script the first time I read it. Yeah,
absolutely, and it has been executed very well on the screen. Yeah, but also
I think Nupur's done a great job.
Yeah, absolutely. But I also want to talk about your character Latika. It is so relatable that one Latika is there are so many Latikas out there who have unfulfilled dreams after they are married because बच्चों के time में चले जाता है, raising them up.
Absolutely.
Dealing with the husband.
Especially with Indian women. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Especially Indian women. I think they give up a lot of their dreams, for family. और कहीं ना कहीं हमको ऐसा like we are also trained to feel कि a sacrificing woman is a great woman. एक pedestal पे आपको बिठाया जाता है. Even with our traditions and traditionally in India, you are made to feel that if you're a sacrificing woman, you are a great woman. If you're an ambitious man, great man. So it's different for both. Yeah,
but on a personal level,
a lot of Latikas.
There are a lot of Latikas, but what would be your message to all the Latikas out there, who kind of sacrifice on their dreams to, to be there for their family all the time, 24/7?
I think, I genuinely feel that it is a very great quality. And I think only women have this ability to be so emotional, so giving, so kind. So don't beat yourself over it. Don't feel bad. Because I don't think we can be men. It is very difficult for us. We are wired a certain way emotionally, and it is beautiful. So मुझे नहीं लगता कि अगर आपने ऐसे sacrifices करे हैं या आपको करने पड़े हैं, and that was the only way out, that you did something wrong. I think you did something great, because you are I suppose, the emotional life, of a family. So it's a very big job to do. But kahin na kahin, you have to find that extra strength, that extra persistence for yourself. वो आपको करना पड़ेगा. That is something you just have to find strength, find the conviction कि मैं ये कर सकती हूँ. That conviction is very important, and then go for it. And the most important thing I feel is कि ये सब जो preparation है can only be done before you get married. So it's for the parents actually to give your daughter everything, that entire masala she probably needs to sort her life, not just the family, but her own life herself. So I think that preparation starts right from the beginning and not after marriage, Yeah.
Completely agree with that. But on a personal level, how well could you relate to Latika, your character?
Completely, yeah. Completely. Matlab, I also took a break of 7 years. I left work. I felt that emotionally, matlab, I would, I had a marriage. So he was traveling. He was a professional sportsman who had to travel for almost 40 weeks in a year. He was out of the house, traveling wherever across the world. So उस समय मुझे ऐसा लगा कि I needed to do it, and I did it. But like I said, sometimes we women do it ourselves, But yeah, I suppose after a point I felt that I needed to do it for myself, and so I completely relate with what Latika was feeling on that day. And then realizing कि मतलब टेढ़ा है पर मेरा है, kind of a feeling like she has, at least, that this is my life and there is so much beauty in it. Why am I finding faults? So why don't I start with myself? Conviction has to be within me. वो जो extra strength की जो बात है कि life is not easy. That's it. That's the other thing. That adult life is not your fairy tale at all. Yeah.
Just as we think in our childhood that adulthood would be wonderful.
You should never tell fairy tales to what we do to them. They believe fairy tales and then they look for it for the rest of their lives. And not a good idea.
Good idea, absolutely. But I want to take you back in the time. The first time you visited Mumbai. How was your first visit to Mumbai like? And having your first cutting chai in the city of dreams?
The first time I came to Mumbai was जो मेरी पहली फिल्म थी हजारों ख्वाहिशें, उसकी मैं 2 या 3 auditions already कर चुकी थी. We were in Delhi, and Swanand Kirkire उस समय, he was who's a national award winner now, but he was a assistant to Sudhir उस समय. So he was taking my auditions, and then last May Sudhir said that nahi, she's a model, she has not come from a National School of Drama, मतलब उसने acting कुछ नहीं करी, so he wanted to take audition himself. So the first time I set foot in Mumbai was for my 4th audition for Hazaro, and I went to his office, I gave my audition, and that was my first time. And my God, this city, and क्योंकि मैं एक army kid हूँ, usually बहुत small towns में आप रहते हैं, तो मेरे लिए तो Delhi was busy, because I was doing my college there. But Bombay was another level, it was a complete shocker for me. So that was my first time. But I remember even then, मुझे ऐसा लगा कि like there is a madness, but then there is a method to that madness, in the city. Like एक madness है, there's a certain kind of energy, but then there's a method to it. There is a certain, how do I say? I don't know. It's like organized madness. I don't know. Yeah, there's a calming effect to it also. There's life. It's like life hits you, but it's something lovely about it, Yeah.
But when was the first time that you had a cutting chai in Mumbai? And you
ये तो मुझे याद नहीं है. But cutting chai, most offices cutting chai only. Most of the offices here. But मुझे ये जरूर लगता था कि because coming from Delhi, that इतनी छोटी इतनी कम चाय क्यों देते हैं? मुझे ऐसा लगता था कि because in Delhi it's like पूरा कप भर के चाय आती है, like even now, that's the size of the cup. But it's a full cup. लेकिन हाँ, that's what I thought. Like इतनी कम चाय क्यों देते? नहीं, तो cutting चाय है. So like okay, 2 cutting. At least 2 cutting chai. Bilkul.
But when you first arrived in Mumbai, this is called City of Dreams. This is a place where people come for opportunities, because there are so many opportunities out there for every profession. I want to know, what were the initial challenges that you faced, in terms of survival and keeping up with the pace of Mumbai?
I think I found it a little difficult actually in the beginning. Or क्योंकि मैं I think somewhere what also happened was that I didn't come to the city with dreams. I came here and I found dreams, because I hadn't thought of being an actor. So मैंने शायद अपना काम इतना seriously नहीं लिया. But after that, when I made a comeback in 2010 and I stayed on, I did find it slightly difficult, because एक तो आप इस शहर के नहीं हैं, ऊपर से आप किसी फिल्म family से, आप मतलब वो background नहीं है आपका. So I think like any other person who's probably felt it, I also felt that that you are a bit of an outsider in that sense. And rightly so, because you are not from here, you don't know people, so I think that was the only thing. Uske alawa, the most liberating feeling was that as a woman I could take auto anytime. I felt safe wearing anything. Nobody would look at me like, this thing about myself. For me as a woman जिसने Delhi University से college किया है, it is a it's a very big change. It is a huge relief. I love Bombay in that sense. It is all about work, professional. मतलब आपका lightman भी आपके set पे इतना professional है. It is amazing. It has nothing to do with education. It is just a way of life that you are professional. You understand how important work is. For me, that work ethic is really, it's commendable. And like I said, even your spot boy, koi bhi on set. Yeah, it's just amazing.
Yeah. Absolutely, I agree with the bit that you mentioned that, even at 3 a.m. if you travel in Mumbai, women are safe. I completely agree.
Sorry, women what?
Women are safe. Even if you travel 3 a.m. in the night, women are safe.
Yeah.
Be it if you go in a cab or a auto rickshaw. There's no one who's, staring at you, judging you.
Yeah. Like I remember a friend of mine told me once, late at night, some 2 o'clock or something, taxi. She took a taxi actually. And she fell asleep after a shoot, So the next day she said, he woke me up and he said, Aapka ghar aa gaya. Like, I mean, it just feels like it's just so safe. I mean, she's also was from Delhi. So I said, yeah, I mean, this is what the city is. And it's such a relief for women, really.
Agree with
huge.
That. But today, when you look back at your career, Chitrangda, is there any one thing that you wish you could have done differently?
I think I should have been more serious about my work in the beginning, and would break. Of course, I took that break for whatever reasons I did, but even after that, I feel like I should have taken it more seriously. I should have invested more time in just, I think, more attention to my work. I kept still going back and forth, and I was going through some personal life issues, emotionally. I had my ups and downs, because of which I completely would give up on work for some time, like just completely go off. And I wish I was a little bit more disciplined in that sense, and I should have definitely, मुझे लगता है कि जितना भी काम किया है, by God's grace, बहुत अच्छा काम मिला, and वो जो characters हैं, people kind of still remember them, and I think that's like the biggest compliment for me. So I want to work disciplined with full attention and full this thing now, whatever I do.
But out of all the characters that you have played so far, some of them are really memorable, and I think Cutting Chai's character is also going to be memorable down the line, after a couple of years.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah. But I want
Thank
to know.
you. I really hope so, Nirali.
Definitely. I mean, I love the character because it's so relatable to, I think, the modern women today.
मुझे भी ऐसा लगता है, पता नहीं किसी ने ट्वीट किया था that after watching this, I'm sure a lot of wives would want to give it a second thought before they sort of crib over small things. Like, oh yeah, I mean, yes, that's nice, that's sweet if people can relate, that's great.
But coming back to your characters, I want to know, which is the one character that still remains close to your heart?
I mean, of course, my first film. I always say that because it was my first. But other than that, I really liked Maya Luthra in Inkar. I thought beautiful character. Again, in today's times, ambitious woman, is she allowed to love? What is more important, respect, or how is she looked at? There are a lot of. I feel that's again a very ahead of time kind of a thing. Before Me Too happened and all of that happened, Sudhir made that film, which is about a guy that you were in love with, and he then sexually assaults you. Because he feels if you said one time, you said yes, then every time has to be a yes. Yes, it's a very complicated sort of situation that he dealt with in that. I thought that was a very interesting character. of how she stands up for herself when the system is against her, when the system is wired to believe a man. The system is not even wired to believe a woman. I thought that was a very, very interesting and a very complicated thing that Sudhir wrote in 2013. That's like almost 10 years back.
Yeah.
So I loved Maya Luthra. Yeah.
But also as a public figure on social media, how do you kind of deal with, positivity? I mean, all the compliments that come your way. And at the same time, sometimes the negative criticism you get, or say the trolling and the hate comments that you get.
But I think when you've been through a lot of personal ups and downs, emotionally, and you've hit rock bottom and back and whatever, I think when I look at these comments, it's a very small thing for me, really. It's very, I'm not saying it doesn't affect me. Kabhi kabhi lagta hai, kya yaar, like what? But I think and most people have their own meter also, na? Apna khud ka ek meter hota hai. Aapko khud pata hai apni reality. You know where you're good. You know where you've gotten away. Yeah, like, this is actually bad what you've done. So, you know yourself. So, I think I'm very hard on myself. Very hard on myself. So, mujhe apni khamiyan bahut achhi tarah pata hai. And beyond that, if people praise me, I take it with a lot of humility. I'm so glad, because as an actor, I want you to love me. I want you to praise my work. So that, of course, feels great. Like, I don't think even that goes to my head. I'm very, my own meter really matters to me. That affects me more than the trolls and stuff. Yeah.
But also the current debate on social media is about, Hindi no longer being the national language. What is your thoughts on it?
The beauty of this country is we have so many languages. The beauty of this country is we have so many cuisines. We have such diverse everything, culture. Everything is India. Yeah? That's what makes India. For me, everything is India. I mean, national language, national bird, national this thing. It's a symbol. I mean, that doesn't change what India is. And it's like it's like America has daylight saving, right?
Yeah.
जो टाइम एक एंड ऑफ अमेरिका में हो रहा है वो दूसरे एंड में हो ही नहीं सकता है, राइट? दैट्स बिकॉज द कंट्री इज सो बिग. दैट्स एग्जैक्टली इंडिया. द कंट्री इज सो बिग. हाउ कैन इट हैव one language? Doesn't make sense. The beauty is that we understand the diversity of this country, and we have, it's so precious. Yeah. It's so different. It's so unique. My God, it's so unique. Find me one other country like this.
Yeah, I mean, India's uniqueness lies in its diversity itself.
Yeah, find me one other country like this. Yeah, one country like this.
I mean, so many religions, so many festivals, so many cultures out here.
It is just, and you know what? Sometimes when living in India, you don't realize when you meet people from outside and when they come here, I mean, they are blown away by how it changes every 100 kilometers, every 200 kilometers. It changes. The country changes, the landscape. I mean, it's amazing, It's not even boring like America.
Yeah.
I think it's so much more interesting, really. I genuinely think so. Now that I've traveled, I'm more in love with my country. So yeah, I don't agree with all this.
But thank you so much, Chitrangda, for doing this chat. And I really loved watching Cutting Chai, and I looking forward to Gaslight that you have upcoming.
Thank you so much, Nirali. Thank you. Lovely talking to you.